So my chapter, titled Gay Jewish Men in the Orthodox Jewish Community Striving for Selfhood. I only realized tonight that it actually has the word Jewish twice in the title. It's a summary of my doctoral dissertation, which was a qualitative study aimed at exploring the experiences of gay Jewish men in the Orthodox community. Instead of summarizing the chapter here for you tonight, I will talk to you about a very recent personal experience that so happens to overlap with some of the findings you could read about in the chapter. Thursday, October 31st, 2019, so just a few weeks ago, that was the first day after getting up from Shiva. While I was finally no longer wearing torn clothing as I was the prior morning, as is customary during Shiva, I continued to observe the other month-long traditional customs of mourning. My beard was overgrown, not like it is now, but a little less, but now it's more. As was my usually tightly buzzed haircut. Yes, I have hair. Having just buried my mother the previous week, and then sitting Shiva, days on end of looking at pictures, watching home videos, sharing, and hearing memories of my beloved mother, I was run down and ill. I was leading services, as again is traditional for mourners, at an Orthodox synagogue on Manhattan's Upper West Side, an institution I had attended dozens of times over the years. A man whom I knew to be a relative of the rabbi tried to have another person take over leading services, asking me in front of others if I still go to the parade. My heart sunk, and I didn't respond. When the person learned that I would be leading the entire service, he asked when the rabbi was returning from a trip and stated that he was going to go daven in the other room. This hurtful interaction confused me.
Absolutely shameful.
This hurtful interaction confused me and bothered me as I continued to daven from the Yom that morning. Was my gay identity going to prevent me from honoring my mother in the traditional manner of leading services while I am a mourner? Yes, unfortunately. I learned later that night that I was officially banned from leading services at the synagogue because a congregant saw me marching in the LGBTQ and allies contingent in the Celebrate Israel parade. No representative from the shul reached out to me to gather information or ask me for my perspective before this decision was made. After a highly influential member, who is a close friend of mine, left in protest, the rabbi and a lay leader of the synagogue met with me to try to resolve the matter. I found the meeting that occurred about a week later to be respectful and the individuals empathic. Given my yeshiva day school, yeshiva high school, and yeshiva in Israel education, and my professional expertise in providing education about LGBTQ sensitivity, I was comfortable in both the language of halacha and the language of gay issues. I provided as much education as I could and delivered all the relevant arguments. Despite what I like to think is my eloquence, and I know is my charming smile, their conclusion, unfortunately, did not change. I was still unfit to be shaliach tzibur and observe the mitzvah of kibbud av va'em as it is typically practiced by mourners. I am gay. That is a matter of identity. I don't have to hide it, I don't have to lie about it, and I don't have to apologize for it. Any intimate behavior I may or may not engage in is private and will remain private. Marching in a parade is about identity. It is about self-confidence. It is about not feeling ashamed. It is not an announcement of private behavior, and it should not be treated as such. Let me summarize what happened here and what did not happen. While I deserve the freedom to tell the truth in the synagogue about who I would like a shidduch with, I didn't ask for that. While I deserve to be open about a loving relationship if I were in one, I didn't ask for that either. While I deserve the opportunity to sponsor a kiddush to celebrate my wedding should I have one, I didn't ask for that. While I deserve the opportunity to host at my synagogue a kiddush, bris, or baby naming, to welcome my child into the world and Jewish community, again, should I have one, I didn't ask for that. I deserve to be consulted before a decision is made about my suitability to be Shaliach Tzibor, and I wasn't afforded that consideration. I deserve to not have Lashon Hara spoken about me because of who I love. I wasn't afforded that respect. I deserve the opportunity to do the mitzvah of honoring my mother by leading services as does every other man who wishes to do so. And I was not afforded that dignity. When it came to being Shaliach Tzibor, I went from being a chiyuv to being an isur. Since this shameful behavior from that synagogue, I have been on edge when davening in other shuls. Although I do not hide that I am gay, as you can tell, I am not a high profile, relatively speaking. I'm really not a high profile LGBT advocate. Parades are fun times to celebrate personal growth and reassert not feeling shame. It should not come at the cost of dignity in mourning and dignity in shul. After I finished sitting Shiva for my mother, I started wondering if I would need to sit Shiva again, this time for the moral compass of Orthodox Judaism. I have since found 2 shuls that, given my current situation, are safe and welcoming spaces that know I am gay, know that I speak about it openly, and are happy to have me daven for the Yomud, especially when I slip the gabbai a 20. Gay people deserve to live with dignity, with the same treatment as other community members, which, unfortunately, includes mourning the loss of loved ones. And we need to know in what synagogues our dignity will be respected. Well, I appreciate very much, especially in these last few weeks, assurances from rabbis that I will be given ritual equality in their synagogues. And again, I do appreciate them. These private promises need to be public, official policies on synagogue websites. Gay people should not have to guess and hope that in their time of vulnerability, their synagogue will be safe and will support them fully. I tried that, and it didn't go well. Additionally, keeping welcoming policies private communicates to gay people that there's something to be ashamed of having welcoming policies. While it was not without anguish, I had to come out to be my authentic self and reach my full potential. If a synagogue is safe, it should come out too. Thank you.